Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well, and in this video I'm talking about a Lewis Hamilton decision that looks to be the correct one, as well as what's been said about McLaren's awful strategy in Canada. So let's start with Hamilton, and he had a very strong Canadian Grand Prix. I mean, when you take Mercedes out of the equation, Hamilton's race pace looked to be best of the rest, and Hamilton ended up finishing in P2. Now this result followed two tough races in Japan and Miami, and after Miami, Hamilton said he did not want to use Ferrari Simulator for the Canadian Grand Prix, and Hamilton followed through on his plan to ditch using Ferrari Simulator ahead of the weekend in Canada, and he believes this was a major factor behind his success, and he's convinced that he's better off without the high-tech tool and to instead rely on his years of experience and instinct, with Hamilton saying, as quoted by Crash.net, "I'm always there to help the team move forward and develop it. Now whether or not I use it to prepare for another race, probably not. There are just too many risks. If you look at the two best races I've had, I didn't use a simulator, and that's honestly how it was. Pretty much all the championships before, except for probably 2008, I didn't use the sim, so it's not a necessity. It's a tool that can be powerful, but for me, I'm old school. I'm probably better without it." Now make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my Formula 1 content and are kept up to date with F1 news. All your support means so much to me, and I'm very thankful for it. But let's move on to McLaren, and while they had an awful Canadian Grand Prix, they qualified 3rd and 4th, but Lando Norris did not finish the race, and Oscar Piastri was down in 11th. Now what led to McLaren being nowhere throughout the Canadian Grand Prix was their decision at the start of the race. Basically, light rain started to fall, and ahead of the race getting underway, McLaren decided to fit Piastri and Norris's cars with intermediate tyres. Now from 3rd, Norris actually got a really good start on the intermediate tyres, moving into 1st place. However, it was quite clear that the track was dry enough for slick tyres, and as a result, after 2 laps, both Norris and Piastri had pitted to go back onto the dry tyres. And then from there, McLaren were down the order and nowhere. Now Piastri said over the team radio that McLaren had made a mistake with this strategy, and speaking to Sky Sports F1 following the Grand Prix, Piastri said it was raining, and between the anthem and getting in the car, it was pretty wet on the ground. You could clearly tell where it was wet and dry. Getting to the grid on slicks was not easy. Getting to full throttle was tough. Unfortunately for us, it stopped raining. If it rained a little bit more, we would have looked like heroes. It didn't, so we looked like idiots. Interestingly though, despite Piastri's comments, McLaren team boss Andrea Stella has defended McLaren's move to start on the intermediate tyres, with him saying, as quoted by Sky F1, "At the time you had to make a decision as to what tyres to fit, and with not necessarily a clear idea as to when the rain would stop, the track was greasy, and the right tyre at the time was the intermediate tyre. I was really interested in seeing a race start at the time when the race should have started, because I'm not sure how long it took for a double extra formation lap, but definitely if you look at the pit lane, it went from being dark grey to grey, like dry. I think we always have to be a bit careful in judging decisions simply from the outcome. I think you have to judge decisions at the time that they need to be made. The rain stopped pretty much after the 5-minute signal, and then the double extra formation lap added a clear penalty to starting on inters." Now even without that double formation lap, I think McLaren still would have been in trouble. They may have had a better start, been able to stay out for a bit longer, but they would have had to pit really early. The track was drying out and they would have fell right down the order. But that's going to be the video from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.